He was just playing aggro. Yes, the 100 points, I know, right? He just teleported me to the very same table. I went from here to here. Greatest teleport of my life. Another mirror. This time I am second and I could have the Norman. That would imply I'm trusting my deck to give me the tools or the Sage Light, which is not a guaranteed. I'll try it. Those are some tools, that's for sure. Kept 3 cards. That is kinda scary. Double Norman. Wow. It's pretty good. Sage Light too, okay. I think I just flare here. As good a moment as any, I think. I also might just Sage Light. Although I did just draw another 2. Sage Light makes sure I have enough sigils for pretty much everything. I wonder. It does give me a pretty strong comeback on turn 4 in Edelweiss plus Velaria, if I want it. Though that also dies to Mireille. I think it's still right. Sage Light to Melvi probably, but still correct with this hand. Dodges his Edelweiss, that's for sure. Well, let's see where this guy hits. Miss. Miss. And what does that mean for me? I could Velaria. That all dies to... it all dies. I'll just Melvi and chill. There was merit to ticking up the sigils, by the way, just so you could play double Norman, but I can just spend the extra play point for that. If he's that passive, I will just get the first Norman advantage. No Sage Light. There's the Sage Light. He got pretty bad risk there, but it paid off for him. Now, second Norman. And forfeit the first Lilantim advantage. I mean, it's not like... First off, I don't have Lilantim, but also it's not like I have enough sigils for Lilantim in the first place, so... Yeah, just Norman again. He did waste 5 sigils to do what he did, so even if he does it again, he will be out of sigils. Ooh, you don't want to do that, opponent. that is not going to end well for you. Especially if you hit. Well, friend, bad news. Very bad news. Yep. At least enough to get to 1900. If we do that, I might change the title. Might. We shall see. I'll consider it. Tempted to keep the Norman, but I don't have a curve, so it's not really good. Okay, this hand, 2 cards are nice. The other 2 are way too early. And I mean way early. Let's see how it goes. Mirror is like my worst matchup by far. And it's possible that I just misplay it, I'm not gonna lie. I am still very confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing in certain scenarios. Other than just draw better than him, I suppose. So Gilnelis is kinda nice as a sort of way to answer the first Norman. Isn't the mirror go second and play Lilantim first? Yeah, that's what I've been... that's what's been happening up until now. I'm just wondering if there's something else I'm missing, really. Because second player also gets to play Norman first, which is a very big deal, as you can probably guess. So it does seem that just going second is a big advantage if you have the right hand. Unfortunately, unless I draw like... I don't know, a grand, but then I would overdraw. Something like that. This does not look to be the ideal hand. I don't know what I could draw. Mirai is nice. I already have the Lilantim. I guess that means I can play the Penelope and just not draw. Save my Evo points for like Norman or Gilnelis to deal with his Norman. He draws. Fair. Cagliostro. Cagliostro is interesting against his Norman because I guess Mirai is similar, but Cagliostro spell would make it so his Norman has to trade or risk. A pretty big risk. If I played this, Norman trades down to Sage Light range, and then how do I kill the golems? Flare, I suppose? I still keep the Cagliostro for evolve purposes, for like Skybound Arts purposes mostly. I think I like this more. Even though it's an imperfect clear, unfortunately. It is almost a clear though, which I think it's as good as you can get against the first Norman. Not trading. Interesting. I draw the Edelweiss too, if I want to play that. Edelweiss instead of Flare. Why? Because it hits one more time. And that is a clear. Mostly because he didn't hit. I suppose that's pretty good for me. Penelope is his next likely play. If he does that, I have Cagliostro to get back my own sigils. Or Lilantim. Does not have the Penelope. Oh, it does have the Penelope, never mind. He just doesn't want to Evo it. Which I suppose is fair. Now this gets me my sigils back. I should prepare for his Lilantim. How do I do that? Do I shuffle back my Gilnelis? But my Gilnelis can get me back from his Lilantim after he hits me. So then I don't do that. So then I don't want to shuffle anything back. Just want to maximize my sigils, really. Yeah. Yeah. It is worth remembering that Astrologer is also a healing in the late game, even though it just cycles back the Sandalphon to heal you for 1. That is still quite good in the right scenario. I think I do Lilantim, because he might clear my Lilantim if I only have 5 sigils, but then it probably gives me enough time to play Rayo, which is what I really want to do. And then Rayo should probably take over the game eventually. At least that's the hope. Yeah, see, he's setting up his own Lilantim. But if he plays that, now I can play my own. And you cannot answer my Lilantim with his, remember. So he either clears mine or lets me hit him. Let's see which one it is. He's played 2 Edelweiss, I think, right? Oh no, only 1. Edelweiss plus Gran would answer this. That falls under the plays that I am responding with Rayo to. His own Rayo does not kill my Lilantim. In fact, he might be dead because he is dead because of that. He just killed my Lilantim for no reason, and now I get a full an empty board for my Sandalphon here. Yep. I suppose that's the advantage of playing Lilantim first, huh? Just a bit too much. A Beyond player. Huh. Interesting. It's not guaranteed that I should keep this. It might not be ward. In which case, I will not keep that. He also did not keep any cards. Do I coin the 2s, even though I could play Mirai? I don't have the sigils in hand to play Mirai. Might as well just speed up the 2s. They usually get some nice damage onto Haven players, unless they have exactly packed onto. Grimnir is expected. I have a flare for that. I am definitely not playing any more 2s into his possible blinding fate. There it is. Just like we expected. I will shuffle back the Lilantim. It's never useful in this matchup, no matter which flavor of crest it is. Now, the issue with all this is if he plays Marwyn, I am massively behind. Unless I evolve, which means I'd probably just evolve. I drew back the Lilantim instead of my 6/8 actually. Skybound art cards. Oh well, I still have to evolve. Maybe he doesn't have Marwyn, but somehow I kinda doubt it. Does not in fact have the Marwyn. That's pretty lucky for me. Does not have Congregant either. Otherwise, he would have played it. So then the next concern would be Wilbert. In which case, Mirai should be a pretty good board against that. Can clear one of them, but not both. Do you have Vessel? Okay, if you have Vessel, then you are most likely not Ward at least. And also, if you Vessel for so little, I might just Mirai again. Unless I want to set up for Lilantim, but that does not seem very smart. Setting up for Lilantim when you could just, at any turn, he could just like Marwyn me. I don't think is very smart. I might coin the 2. That seems good enough to do. Seems like that's a lot of otherwise. Seems like a far better play. I could play Lilantim if by turn 8 we haven't seen a Marwyn, but the moment I play Lilantim is the moment he plays Marwyn, because I let him by wasting 8 mana and getting it answered by 2, basically. Has to gamble, eh? Nope, draws instead. What are you looking for? Nothing clears this board on 4 mana. Marwyn. Okay. So then you super evo that. Yeah. Although that still doesn't clear, that just takes care of half of it, pretty much. Which means I still get to hit you for 5 at the very least. Sandalphon, I guess it's fine that you're here a bit early. We need something to play with the remaining 3 mana. A Sage Light. That's usually not great. Best saved for healing or closing out the game, but What am I doing next turn? Norman, down to 3 sigils, possibly down to 1. So maybe Sage Light is good? That sounds ridiculous. Probably is. I'll just stick this up. As much as I don't want to waste 2 mana, I mean. Everything else is not great. So, you got your Morrowind down. Now do you have a second board clear? You do. That clears the way for my Norman at least. Otherwise Norman. Or just Norman without otherwise. Why without otherwise? If my Sandalphon is active without it, which he is not, then it could have mattered. Otherwise Norman looks like the play. Third vessel is what he needs now. Ooh, be the Beyond player. Not bad.